because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Thought the game was over, but it's only just begun.
Saw has never been so back in our lives. I mean, Saw 10 did over $111 million at the box office, which is quite frankly amazing. Didn't think it was going to do that much. It was a damn good, solid movie. And to think it was going to do like maybe 50, 60 million, did $111 million is great. It means that the fans are still around. The fans are still interested. And we have some things to talk about regarding Saw 11. Now, Saw 11 is coming out September 26, 2025. Okay, Kevin Greutert is directing this film as well. If you guys do remember, Kevin Greutert did a lot of editing for the Saw franchise, and he was a director for Saw 6, Saw 3D, and obviously Saw 10. Now, Marcus Dunstan is the co-writer for the Saw 11 film. He was a co-writer for Saw 10, but Greutert and Marcus Dunstan have worked together on multiple occasions. Saw 4, Saw 3D, and obviously Saw X, which is great. So I like the fact that they're keeping everything in-house, which is a great thing, because Kevin Greutert did say about Saw 10, if it did really well, they'll do another film. But whatever is working, you stick to what's working. Don't change too much, but keep everything in-house. Now, the writer for Saw 11, Marcus Dunstan, did talk to the outlet on a quote of some news, not too much, but we had a quote on what Saw 11 is going to feel like. Dunstan says, "We're writing 11 right now, and Kevin Greutert is returning to direct." He continues, "That's one where it's got something new to say, and it's angry." What does that mean? I mean, I'm just so excited. Like, obviously, this has to be an upgrade over 10. I mean, every movie that you make, it's got to be more of an upgrade. It's got to be more brutal. John has got to be, obviously, Tobin Bell is coming back, and obviously he's going to be great as usual. But, the story and where it's going to go, that is the question. Are we getting a direct sequel to Saw 10? Or is this just another different story? Cecilia Peterson is an interesting one for me, because she was in the deleted scene at the end of Saw 10, where she's sitting in the poisonous room, the gas is gone, the door opens, and she just disappears. Now, technically, this is a prequel movie, so she would have to disappear. She would have to die somehow later on, because she obviously knows too much. She would just go to the police, or I don't know, maybe she wouldn't, because obviously she committed a lot of crimes as well, giving these patients hope on these fake surgeries. So I'm not sure where this is leading to. Like I said, direct sequel, or is it a totally different story? We don't know what happened to Cecilia Peterson. The deleted scene showed us different, that she does live, but we don't know the rest of it. Number 2 on my list of things that could change dramatically is, I think one thing as just something fun to watch is obviously Henry. That John meets him at that little coffee shop and tells him about this company of these surgeries that are going on. He's the one that kind of prompts up all the people going to these rehabs and going to these little meetings about cancer and how to deal with it. And you obviously see Henry at the end of Saw 10 on the post-credit scene, in the Saw bathroom, where we did see him, where that little, trap that he had on his stomach. Are we going to see that trap? Are we going to see what happens to him as like maybe a little scene in the beginning of what happened with Henry, to find out what actually happened to him? Or are they just going to leave it alone and kind of give us the imagination that he's already dead? And lastly, Mark Hoffman. Come on now. We're not forgetting Mark Hoffman. That post-credit scene was amazing. And the couple phone call conversations we did see, those little tiny scenes we saw earlier in Saw 10, was absolutely amazing. Mark Hoffman now is definitely going to be more involved in this movie. I can't see him not being. And this is going to be like right at the beginning, where Shawnee Smith's character and obviously Mark Hoffman are going to meet up, and they have this really different relationship, this brother-sister relationship, but in a more like violent way, that they want to kill each other because they don't like each other too much. Obviously, Mark Hoffman and Jigsaw are doing these, contraptions and doing what they're doing for 2 different reasons. To see Costas Mandylor back as Mark Hoffman. And if he doesn't have a big part in this Saw 11 film, I'll probably be really shocked. But I feel like he will have a big part. He is a fan favorite, and I can't wait to see him back in action. I'm not really worried about this too much. So as for Saw 11, we're just in the writing process right now. That's it. No, nothing has been filmed yet, but I think there's a lot of theories, like I said, between characters, loose ends in Saw 10, where this could be going, and for this to be quoted as that's one where it's got something new to say and it's angry is going to be really just... I mean, you always want every Saw movie to be a little different. You want the same recipe, but obviously make things a little bit more crazy, more tension, more trauma, more being uncomfortable in your seat in the theater. That's all we really want. And obviously Tobin Bell doing his thing as John Kramer, as Jigsaw, Shawnee Smith coming back, because I thought she did a fantastic job in Saw 10. And obviously Costas Mandylor. What happens to some of these other characters, as in, you know, we know what happens to Mark Hoffman. We know what happens to some of these other characters in the movie, but let me know what you guys think about Saw 11 coming up. Are you excited about it? What are your theories about it? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think this is a different timeline? Do you think this is connected, straight, direct sequel to Saw 10? Just let me know. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like the video. It does help out tremendously. We'll be covering all the Saw news, the Saw 11 news coming up. I really enjoy making these videos because it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. And that's pretty much it. Leave a comment and we'll talk about it. You guys have a fantastic day. Keep running. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.